On October 31st, 1517, Martin Luther, that brash Augustinian monk who became a doctor of theology at Wittenberg University in Germany, nailed his 95 Thesis to the door of the castle church. Unknowingly to him, the act would launch one of the greatest events in human history. It is what we know today as the Protestant Reformation. And as Protestants, we are still protesting. We are protesting, standing against the theology and practices of the Roman Catholic Church. And we're doing that to this very day. That's exactly what we're going to be learning about in the days to come. I'm on location in Germany, in Lutherstrada, the land of Luther. In fact, behind me is the church where Luther was baptized. We're going to be making our way around many of the Luther sites, learning about the events and the theological turning points in the Reformation. It makes sense to start at the beginning, which in Martin Luther's case was right here in Eisleben. That's where I am today. This was the town of his birth and ironically also the town of his death. He was born here November 10th, 1483, and he died February 18th, 1546. Luther has been described as larger than life, a figure in both German and Christian history. It can be difficult to wrap your mind around his entire life and the impact he's had on both Christianity and the world. So to help us make sense of Luther's life, we're going to borrow from Dr. Stephen Nichols' approach to understand Luther and look at 5 divisions of his life. The first division includes his birth and his early years from 1483 to 1505. That's where we will start. The second division of his life includes his monastic years, which were 1505 to 1516. We would call this period in his life his monastery years. We'll visit that monastery. We'll get a picture of his life as a monk. Luther would call it a time of intense conflict, both spiritually and physically with God. I'll explain more about that in the future. Then from 1517 to 1521, we have the Reformation years. This is the third division. This is still a time of great personal conflict as Luther was struggling against all known authorities. He was standing against the Holy Roman Empire and the Holy Roman Catholic Church. And he was demanding that they were wrong and that he was right. And we'll spend a considerable amount of time studying this period of Luther's life. Then we'll look at the fourth division from 1521 to 1530. We'll call this the establishment of the Protestant Church or the Lutheran Church. And the most important event in this period is the Augsburg Confession in 1530. And then we have the fifth division in his life from 1530 until the time of his death, until 1546. So there you have it. We'll study all 5 divisions of Luther's life as we travel around Lutherstrada together.